Well, alright then. Welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. I'm Hupfen, and by the authority of the Sandleford Municipal Council, I hereby condemn this natural gas generator. It's just not been working for us. We have someone idle. Silver's idle. Silver should not be idle. So let's high priority those. Get Silver out of there. How did you get down to here anyway? Did you just fall or something? I'm sorry, dude, but someone just build these ladders. Dude, it's cold down here. Alright, Silver got out now. Silver's good. So what are we working on here? Well, now that we're basically condemning this, we could really use a new generator. You know, a new generator system. And not sure how we're gonna go about that one. Manual generator is clearly not good for long term. We can try to set up a hydrogen generator. How would we do that? Well, we can produce hydrogen with an electrolyzer. So what we can do, this just gives off oxygen and hydrogen. So we can build this in a chamber akin to what we have here, probably a little larger, like more room to play. And then just pump out oxygen. Well, actually, we'll pump out everything that isn't hydrogen. And we'll try to keep the hydrogen contained. So we will, not like that. Cancel those. We will put the wall here. Kind of combine what we've already got going on. So we'll want some ladder all the way up here. And actually we'll do it like this. Not sweep. Cancel C. I should really be learning these cancel all. I should really be learning these keyboard shortcuts because Steam alerts like to pop up right there and kind of mess with things a little. So we'll put that there. Put the electrolyzer right here. Now this requires water. So we need a liquid intake. And it will require power, but we can deal with that grid. I'll set dig commands for the remainder of the space. And then, let's see, we're gonna need a clean water intake from the looks of it. So, I mean, we can take this water pump, and actually we should, because as we can see, like, the pipe is blocked, presumably because, yeah, there's, like, all the water is good. Pipe bridge, yeah, that's coming from there. So we'll build another pipe bridge. This time, like, up here. Build some plumbing this way. Actually, let's cancel those pipe orders. So we're gonna need another liquid pipe bridge here. And we will come up and around. This is a long pipe. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Another liquid pipe bridge. The plumbing is getting a little complex in here. Again, not about to pretend otherwise. But that will do that job nicely. So we'll have that intake. And then we need a gas pump, which, oh sure, now you're working. Now you're working. I don't understand this thing. I don't know, we are dealing with technology that is beyond my comprehension. But anyway. We're actually going to cancel this. Cancel all. I'm going to cancel this job. Put the gas pump here. And put tile around it. And then some gas permeable tile. Just to give them somewhere to walk on it. And in fact, there. Cancel these. Put gas permeable there. Set dig orders. Let's see. So this is just going to be like its own chamber, and it's actually okay to leave this open air. And naturally the reason is hydrogen goes up. So we don't really need to worry about like it overflowing like this did. You know, the natural gas coming into our oxygen system. Don't have to worry about that so much. Speaking of, how is our oxygen generation is insufficient. So this will actually, the electrolyzer will produce oxygen as well as the hydrogen. So we do want that. This should maybe, you know, squeeze out some oxygen. What we're going to do though is let's see, set up some gas piping. There's an output, and then we'll put that into a gas filter. The output of the gas filter will be hydrogen. That comes into our hydrogen generator. The remainder will be whatever, and that can just... Actually, you know what? I'm thinking we vent that into our base. And it'll just be like a vent in the corner, sure, but that will hopefully kind of start to populate more space. And speaking of more space, build a couple more storage compactors. We are looking kind of full. We can use as much of that as we can. And we should... Oh, how are we on algae? Not a ton. We need to start sweeping this up. And we don't have any unassigned beds. Okay. Now I'm going to prioritize this entire mission. And the reason that we're going to do this is, well, we need this stuff built, first off. A little bit of tile damage. We build a tile here. We can build a tile there. Let's build a tile there, just to be safe. Keep sweeping whenever you can. We have no mealwood seeds, so can't do anything with that. But we want this job to get done faster. Or fast. And it will mean that this circuit is pretty well accounted for, even overloaded. Although I didn't see which one that was. But, oh, Bigwig was getting a bit stressed out, so now he's using the massage table. That's actually wonderful. You know, we want people doing that. We have the coal generator pumping away. unrefrigerated food because our fridges are basically full. Yeah, Dandelion doesn't like the food. I know, dude. Like, this stuff sucks. Let's focus on Gristleberry as much as possible. We don't want pickled meal. Meal ice sucks. Let's do lice loaf on that one. Do mush bars on that one. Let's see. And we need a cot for our next duplicate. In fact, let's build more just to make sure we have them. And cancel that build. Cancel that deconstruct order. A little lower priority stuff, but we want oxygen flowing around here. And hand sanitizer, lovely. It will hopefully feel a little better about that whole situation. What circuits are overloading? This one, the whole coal generator thing. Now, there is heavy watt wire, which cannot be run through tile. And that includes through this manual airlock. But we want this airlock as like a carbon dioxide trap, essentially. Now, why is this not pumping? Probably because this water system is just blocked. So, how do we want to handle that? How do we want to handle that? We could probably... This pipe is already, like, sorted. All this work is carrying on, though. What we may want to do is just have it go into the vent. Honestly. Like, this is an... Well, no, this is an intake. This is the outtake. That's what an air scrubber does, right? Yeah, it gives off polluted water, so it's not scrubbing for that reason. So, let's see. We tried to like have it pump directly into there. Kind of have enough from the looks of it. This is a liquid pipe bridge. There's no liquid. That's an out. Where is all this liquid coming from? What I want to know. Is this pipe just like over full? Is that what's going on? I'm actually starting to think, like, what if we deconstruct all this? And let's make it so the air scrubber provides buried object. What? So that the air scrubber provides the dirty water for our farm. And maybe that will be a good idea. Who knows? So we are again running out of algae. That's a lovely situation to be in. Oh. We're going to build a little bit of tile, which may seem egregious, may seem unnecessary, except that in doing so, we have to dig out some algae. And so now we've got more algae. Let's up the priority on these storage containers a little bit. We want to do those builds. And up priority on this job. Now all this building is done, which is nice. I don't know, like, what does it mean to prioritize on art. I think what it means that the artwork should maybe be in front of our plumbing. That might be a good idea. We'll see. Our stress is actually like pretty low now that Bigwig took a little time off. Now that is actually kind of appreciated. And yes, this is a thin wall, but for this little water tank, that's okay. So that got us a little bit more algae. Our oxygen generation is like a little low. And that's mainly because our algae supply is a little low. Our water supply is not low. Our water is fine. We've got the goods there. Nothing's gonna get pumped out of that yet. This whole job is hopefully going to go well for us. This blob of natural gas is just kind of floating around, causing trouble. That job is carrying on. This job is carrying on. Yeah, we need to emphasize this sweep a little more. And sweeping over here. Keep the food refrigerated, keep it in good shape. This air scrubber has no power. We probably destroyed... We didn't destroy the wire. Why do you have no power? You should have power at all times. Like, I can get it if you're not like able to pump dirty water. Like, this is just taking care of itself. You know, we have a nice closed ecosystem right there. It's brilliant. And this is just pumping off clean water in all directions. Some more like water purifiers. We got the two, and they're kind of staggering themselves nicely. Of course, this can't do anything until this whole job is done. I guess it's polluted oxygen, so that sucks, but you know, it's oxygen. So they can breathe it. These are built. Apply settings to those, so now we have somewhere to sweep. And textile factory, we can make some snazzy suits. Let's make a couple. It requires 4. We have available 0. So why are you saying we have 2 available when we don't have any available? You're just being deceptive. I don't appreciate when the game's being deceptive. You know? Assign to silver. Can we unassign? Like, I don't know. How do our vitals look? How's everyone looking health-wise? Full health on everyone. Ollie seems to be the most stressed. And it's decor and being wet. Which is reasonable. It's very, very reasonable. Fiverr. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Interrupted sleep, low oxygen, soggy feet. Decor. New friend is nice. Just kind of bouncing around. But everyone is under 50, which is actually a pretty good position to be in. And let's harvest this. Let's mark this for harvesting. This is the reed fiber that we were looking at. This hydrogen generator is ready to go once we get the gas filter and everything in position. So yeah, this could end up like producing more power than we need, but that's why we have these batteries. You know? Keep that on hand for when we don't have any. We're also getting tons of slime, tons of algae. This biodistiller is ready for delivery. These water purifiers are doing the work. We're in pretty good shape. That. Still need to generate more oxygen. We're consuming a lot, probably because of the work that we're doing now. Generating just tiny amounts of hydrogen. That will become not so tiny amounts. And when we pump this, we'll probably pump out, well, first, a lot of polluted oxygen, so that's unfortunate. We do have these deodorizers, so hopefully that will kind of spread and take care of itself. Excuse me. Having a burp mid-word. It's one of the least appropriate times for burping. Gas pressure is pretty high. I'm gonna filter out hydrogen, and this requires power. As does that. It doesn't entirely surprise me. The priority 7. Everything here is priority 7. Now how do we relieve gas pressure? Besides a burp. I don't know how it works, to be perfectly honest, and there's no, to the best of my knowledge, there's no plumbing option that reduces gas or liquid pressure, for that matter. So let's set up a sweep. Yeah, folks, get your rest. How does... Yeah, oxygen is starting to look a little rough. Especially in the bed area. So I can understand why, like, people's sleep might get interrupted. Holly and Five are a little upset. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to work a bit more on oxygen within our base and up, like, above the farm. The farm is set on that front. I actually think what we're going to do is sweep. We can't sweep that up. Why can't we sweep this up? It's just water. It's just what? Because we need to mop it up. How much time have we put into this game so far? But basically we're just gonna mop up our early reservoir. And we're going to do that so that we can build a little, like, vent kind of thing. Build like a secondary path to our farm. And in the process, yeah, Bigwig, I know, you don't like the water. In the process, this we'll try and help this oxygen rise a bit more. And that's partly by giving some of the CO2 more opportunity to sink. And let's high priority this one. High priority this one. Let's prioritize the terrariums inside of our barracks. Acorn passed out. Acorn is narcoleptic, right? That wasn't just... Yeah, narcoleptic. If Acorn does it, I'm not so concerned. If just like an ordinary duplicant does it, then I'm like, you guys are not getting the sleep you need. You guys clearly are not getting the sleep you need. This just filters out carbon dioxide. Maybe that's a way that that gas pressure can go down. That makes it just sound like it's straight up removing carbon dioxide from the air. So this should pump out oxygen, pump out gas, entirely, which will hopefully reduce gas pressure. Again, hopefully. Let's put some work into this sweep. This is starting to produce more hydrogen. It's nowhere near as potent as this. This geyser, but it's something. All this slime will hopefully help the biodistiller produce more algae, which we want. And yeah, those are built. Those are built. We are ready for our next duplicant to arrive. Let's go ahead and do so fairly quickly. So we've had a good focus on getting this next generator going. The next generation of power. Circuits are getting periodically overloaded, but we can repair that pretty quick. So it's not the end of the world. We need to put more stuff on this circuit from the looks of it. And yeah, this gas vent, it looks like it's giving off that's water. No, that's gas. That's gas. It's polluted oxygen, but it is oxygen. So that's something. The problem is when we have this gas pressure overflow. So we'll have to figure out how to address that going forward. Yeah, because it's getting kind of polluted. And again, the question just comes, where do we put it? Where does it go? Where does all this oxygen go? This coal generator just needs to work through the night. Refill its batteries. These batteries are nice and full. We can actually deprioritize that a little bit. The hope is that gradually this hydrogen generator will fill up. So, for one, the electrolyzer will produce a little more oxygen, yes. This gas pump will hopefully then remove some of that oxygen. Carbon dioxide, still unbreathable, but it's unbreathable for a mixture of reasons. And this is pumping in, it's polluted oxygen, but it is oxygen. So we're at least keeping the base covered in that sense. This med bay is just one level below this, and it's so uncomfortable. Only if you're neurotic, which, yeah. So we can keep making gristleberry. We both can make gristleberry. We have more sweeps that we can do here. Problem is, if this pipe it gets backed up, then what do we do? Because that was the point of the initial pipe, but kind of, well, no, that was going the other direction. So actually, we can rebuild this, but with the bridge going this way. So, if this backs up, I should go over there as well. I almost missed the duplicate. So, what do we have? We have Nisbet. It's an early bird, but a mouth breather. We have a slight oxygen consumption problem at the moment, so I'm not a huge fan of that. Lyra, amphibious, always nice. Gastrophobia, can't cook. We have 17, well, we'll now have 17 duplicants, so it's not the end of the world. We can have other people do the work. Max is really good at tinkering, but again, mouth breather, and a high decor expectation. So we're gonna go with Lyra, who is now gonna be Buckthorn. And actually no, we're gonna make you Scabious. A little more of a badass name, because that hair, that's like Princess Leia hair almost. There we go. You're assigned your positions. You can go ahead and get to work, and we'll have to get to work on reducing Holly and Fiverr and Bigwig's stress. Just reducing stress overall, because that's starting to get a bit high. But that will be for the next video. For now, thank you for watching. If you appreciate it, a like would be appreciated. Subscribe doubly so. But either way, ta-ta for now.